Welcome to the John Show with your host, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? What's going on? Yeah, what's up? So we're here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Clouser, or John D. Clouser, whichever one you prefer. Episode 189. We're just pushing through these things, just one after the other, you know? It's almost like how the pyramids were built, just one brick at a time. Just one brick at a time. Like it. I've had to have talked about this before. How people, we really do, and I understand. We want to make this big deal about like maybe it's aliens. Maybe there was, maybe humanity was a lot more advanced than they are today, and then just maybe an asteroid or an ice age or a flood happened and then it wiped out a bunch of people. Or some people think that Atlantis was a place that was a real thing. Some people think that the whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing is a whole fugazi. It's just we all have a different opinion on things. And that's okay. And that's okay to have, And there's other people who think that the aliens that Mexican guy found in fucking Peru are real. That's, oh God. And then there's me. I'm just here. Yeah. There was the whole thing that I was going on about that. And don't remember now. And that's what makes this podcast great. Is that it's just, oh, I remember now. What I was talking about, like, maybe the reason why the Egyptians were able to build that pyramid was the fact that they had nothing else to do. Maybe the fact there were people that were living out in the desert, and maybe they just wanted to make shade. Have you ever thought about that? Have you just thought about maybe they wanted to get out of the sun? And they're like, if we built this really tall thing, and, and if we just stand in the shade part, every time the sun moves or that thing up there moves, there's another shade part. We'll just move over to the shade part. And we're not in the sun, and we're not dying because the fucking sun is so hot here. It is insane to think that like that is like where, if that's one of the funniest things. There's certain things like I love to have the idea that, there is a God. And then, once you die, you move on, and maybe you get to meet you get to meet it, or them, or he or she, or the being. You just become part of God. Maybe you're just part of a God. But there's always a thing. I'm like, I would love to think that it's like an actual human. It's just a much taller version of you. So like, and when you see the frame, you see like myself, and you just see like the kneecap and down of God, and I'm just like, God, this is what one of the things I gotta ask you, like, you made waterfalls, you made stars, you made humans, and then like, why in the hell would you start us off living in some place like the Middle East where it's hotter than shit, and there's no air conditioning? It'd be one thing if you started off, in the Middle East, and we already had air conditioning from the start. Air conditioning was just a thing you found in nature. No, I guess the closest thing is wind. Maybe, yeah, in wind, snow, nighttime. It's just that thing. But it's just those are the things. I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, it's just you thought of so much stuff in a complex thing, and then you just kind of fubbed it here. But yet then there's that human aspect of things. But it's like, because then I would just feel like he would just look at me like, you're a fucking moron. It's like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a moron like you, because I'm part you, right? Isn't that how that works? It's like, he's like, no, I never said that. Y'all said that. I never once said that. Why in the hell would I ever compare myself to you? I made stars and waterfalls and humans. And what the fuck have you done? Like, what do? You just take a shit in a. You guys figured out how to take shits in a plastic, like little small hut. It's just that's our big accomplishment, and that just sits. There's one that sits in one of the nicest cities or the nicest counties in all of the greater Kansas City area. There's a porta potty that just sits there. There's houses like right behind, like right next to it. They're like $500,000, and it's just a fucking porta potty just right there, And it's like I never see anyone use it. I never see anyone go into it. I've never seen anyone going out of it. It's just there. It's just there. And then I think about maybe the rich people put one there because they walk their dogs, they ride their bikes, they do their things, and then I'm like, maybe they need to maybe they need it because they had, they if something happens, but I don't know. These are just the thoughts of a man who has to do a podcast. He does down 189 podcasts solo. So it is what it is. To each calzone, right? To each calzone. This is actually probably a great segue because what I've been saying is absolute nonsense. I haven't said one coherent thought in damn near 7 minutes of being on this podcast, and that's fine, and that's okay. And that's the funny thing is, like, I'm 34. I'm 34 years old, and like, there's none of me that feels like I've matured at all. All I've just been able to do is understand algebra better now. Like, I can watch a video on algebra and I'm like, oh yeah, I get all this. I don't understand why any of this, like, tripped me up in high school. Like, what the fuck? I really did not care. I really did not give a shit at all. I just did enough just to get by, and then I just moved on. I just kept on trucking. It's, oh god, it's like I know how to do taxes. Does that make me? That doesn't make me more mature. That just makes me like a reasonable member of society, or reasonable member of society. Yeah, it doesn't do anything good. Like, I should be doing that. That should be just part of the thing that I do. It's just, I think I'm like, every day, it's like, John, let's just try to get a little bit more aware of feelings, of situations, of just fucking try. And does it happen? Most times I fail. I fail hard. It's just like a moment. Like, I was coming back from out of town, and I stopped at McDonald's, and that was my first mistake right there. And then I went to the drive-thru, and you know how the drive-thrus now have like these automated talk things, and it was trying to take my order, and I was like, I don't want hash brown, and it just kept on adding another and another and another and another hash brown. I got to like 6 additional hash browns. Like, I don't want these fucking hash browns. And then the thing just was like, I'm sorry, would you like to talk to a human? And I had, there's very few times in my life where I actually really do feel like a total fucking asshole, while being an asshole. And that was one of them. I'm like, oh wow, I was such an asshole. I was so mad. So mad at an object, so much that it was like, I'm sorry, do you want to talk to a human? Like, I literally felt like I hurt its feelings. It was just insane. And I was like, that's one strike. That the machine's gonna remember that. AI is gonna remember that. And so then when when that comes over and takes over the whole world, I'm just going to become I'm going to be one of the first ones that get killed. Like, yeah, let's get rid of this asshole, which is good, great. No more bills. I'll have no more bills. That's really where my mind. It's so funny. That's where it goes. It's like, yeah, when I'm dead, I don't have to pay bills anymore. I don't have to answer to that. Finally, we'll be free. Finally free. That is a very funny and very morbid way of thinking. It's absurd. And this is absolutely delicious. Juicy peach. Annie. A Manny New, or I don't know what the hell they're called. They're these little energy drinks. They're like zero sugar. I'm on this whole zero sugar thing, and like it just it's hilarious when people see it or when people hear about it. They are just so upset by it. They're like, "Are you serious? So what you're saying is you'll drink a Coke, but it's Coke Zero?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not that great. Is it just like a Coke? No. Guess what? Nothing's like a Coke. Cokes are the best thing in the world. Like sugar is like the best thing in the world. It's just I'm just don't want to intake all of it all the time. Just being more aware of it, and nothing's wrong. Like if you can just find every once in a while, there's something like Mountain Dew, zero sugar tastes just like a Mountain Dew. It's weird. It's weird as hell. It just somehow it works. It works. And the thing that another thing that irritates the shit, people who will eat things that are like, they'll use like monk fruit as like a sweetener. Like, oh, and it tastes just like pina colada. It's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Stop pretending like that stuff tastes good. Like you just have to pretend. You eat it to suffer, and you move the fuck on. It's like it irritates the shit out of me when like people want to say that it's like the greatest thing in the world. It's not. It's not at all. When you think eating healthy is great, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It sucks. Like right now, like I've lost so much weight. I need to put all this weight back on, and so what it has to do is I have to eat. That means I have to gorge myself, and it goes against so much of like everything that I go for. It's just I hate so much. I think eating, I don't know if I've ever talked about this. I think eating is one of the biggest wastes of times in the world. I really do. I wish there was a way. I could just get all that nutrients and I didn't have to. But the thing is, like, guess what? You can. There's probably ways you can do it. And then guess what? You get cancer. Somehow you get cancer. And the thing is, it's not natural. It's not natural. You're supposed to eat things. You're supposed to like consume things. And it's really not the eating aspect of things. Like, it's not that. It's all of the other shit that goes with it that just annoys the living shit out of me. It's just people wanting to like eat these flamboyant of things like donuts. Piss me the fuck off. I can't deal with it. It's like I just want a strawberry donut and they want to call it like a birthday cake, and I'm like, I can't eat that. I'm not gonna eat something that's called birthday cake. It sounds dumb as hell to me. It just irritates the living fuck out of me, and it's like and then these like elaborate like hamburgers, and like people want to like say like, they look at me because I eat like ground beef and rice. They're like, you're eating so much cholesterol, so much fat. I'm like, yeah, it has fat on it, but the thing is, like, I'm only getting fat from just a straight cow. You're getting it from that syrup that you're putting on that hamburger, from those onion rings you're putting on that hamburger, from that cheese you're putting on that hamburger, and all that ketchup, and then like that Coke you're washing it down with. Like, I drink a Coke Zero because I'm better than you. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to get at, is that I do all these things so then I can brag to you about it, and then I can make you feel like an absolute piece of shit, and I can be like, I'm better than you. You need to do what I do, because if you don't do what I do, then you're not doing it right. That's so much fun when you want. Like, this is the one thing in the fitness world that's hilarious, because you just watch these people. They just try to make content, and it's some of the dumbest shit in the world. Like taking, and I know I shouldn't be bashing on other people's what they like. I understand this. God damn it, I'm trying to understand that more. I really am. But it's just fun. It's just fun to talk about it, because I'm just like, this is odd. This is just like, why do we just act like this is just normal? We just act like this is just normal now. Like, I mean, I guess it is normal, but taking like Greek yogurt, smashing up a banana, taking some blueberries and raspberries, some chunks of like a hard ass granola that has like no flavor to it. And then putting it in like oh, this is so good. It's like, no, it's not. No, and they roll it up in like a ball. And then they use like crushed up, like it's like crushed up dried like jackfruit, like the skins, and that's like supposed to be like, and it's supposed to be like a crusted like fruit ball thing, and it's just like, these are why are y'all doing all this? Stop it, stop. God is so upset. Oh God, he's just like, why are you what the fuck? I gave you an apple. Just eat the goddamn apple. Just eat it. Stop trying to make something that isn't that. Quit trying to make water taste like peaches. Stop. I gave you a peach. I gave you waters. Eat them separately, you asshole. Like, stop. But this is the mindset I live in. It is odd. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm just like, okay, you just got to get this podcast done. You know, you gave Lola her 3-mile walk. I reorganized my office a little bit. I don't know. This whole area over here never gets touched. It really doesn't. Like, I put my hats over there and I move them from over there to over here. And then that's it. And I moved the lights from back there to over here because there's light here. There's a light over here. And there's two light sources here and a light source above. No one gives a shit about this, John. Let's just go on. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, but yeah, like once I get this done, this is like probably like the biggest chore. And I get to play some Madden, dude. Okay, so I feel like I'm so dumb. Like, I'm so ignorant when it comes to certain things, and I'm really glad at that. Like, and it's what really humbles me. And this is one thing I do feel like I'm able to. I'm like, you know, I talk a lot of shit, but I'm fucking stupid too. I'm totally fucking dumb. That was absolutely gross, and I apologize. Burping right into the goddamn microphone. But so Face of the Franchise, right? It's part of Madden. Not familiar with it. You basically can play as you can play as a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a middle linebacker, and for Face of the Franchise. And the thing is, it's really basically, it's made mostly for quarterback, so you can have like the experience of being an NFL quarterback, going through like the process of being recruited from college to the NFL. You go through the combine, you get drafted, you have interview questions, la 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 la. A lot of it's kind of really stupid to me. When I was a 14-year-old kid, it was cool, but now I'm like, I guess it's an interesting story, but the thing is, like, it hasn't evolved at all for over 15 years. So 15, almost 20 years probably. And so I didn't realize that if you're in a franchise mode, which is another thing, so you can play as like a team. I didn't know you could. I know you could have played as like a owner, and I thought you could play as a coach. I didn't know you could play as like an individual player, basically like face of the franchise, but you have access to all of the positions except for like punter and kicker and like lineman, which is normal because it's just the storyline doesn't make much sense, and it's just I don't know. For me, it's just, yeah, I guess I don't know. It just I don't understand why you wouldn't do it, but I get it, because you could just, I guess maybe because it's boring, because it's just you're passing, blocking, you're doing that, you're just pushing A, and I don't know, maybe it's boring. But yeah, so like now I can play as a free safety. So I created a player as a free safety because I used to like play in owner mode, and that means you had full access to all the whole team, so the roster, salary, all that stuff. And I would just create a play. I would create a player, and gradually at the end of the season have a whole team that I created. And I'm like, as much fun as that was, it's just very time consuming. And I'm like, damn it, because like I thought that was the only way you could do it. I didn't know you could play as an individual player. Well, in franchise you can, and I just figured that out. So I've been obsessed with that. It's so funny. I get obsessed with every once in a while. I'll get obsessed with that, and then I get obsessed with FIFA. Those are like the only two games I play on Xbox. I literally just bought an Xbox to play Madden. When I remember when I bought it, I bought my Xbox when it was like maybe 2 months before COVID really like hit hard, and we had to wear masks like all the time. It was, I believe at the time, it was only when you were, I don't think you even had to wear it. I think it was still like all optional unless like you're going to like a senior citizen home. I think that's the only time you needed to wear one. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should get an Xbox. So just in case if like things like shut down like hardcore for a while, I can at least like play Xbox. I'm like, I'll just smoke pot, play Xbox, do my film stuff, and call it a day, right? And it actually has been, the Xbox has become like a source of when I'm writing. I'll write, play my Xbox for like 20 minutes, go back to my writing. I'll do things like that. It's been kind of a fun thing, but the only reason why I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I don't know anything about any of the other games. I'm like, I know Madden and I know FIFA. Sports, I have, NASCAR, tennis, golf. It's only the sports. That's the only things I play. Like Grand Theft Auto. I played it maybe twice, but I've never owned it. I've never owned one. What else? That spacecraft. Is this not StarCraft? Maybe StarCraft. I don't know, something like that. Like there's a space one that's coming out soon. That one looks cool, but I've never even considered buying one. I guess Ninja Gaiden. I did have Ninja Gaiden, which was weird that I like. So it'd be like I like sports and I like to watch. I like to play ninja game. I like to play as a ninja. Weird. But that was on Xbox 360 because I've had, I have a Nintendo 64. I have a Super Nintendo. I think that's what it is. That one's in storage. I haven't pulled that out in a while. I have one of those Atari, like that has like, what is it? It has like 40 games built into it. What else? Xbox 360, and then my Xbox One. And I don't know. It's dumb. I think it's one of the silliest things. That's the reason why I picked up golf hard, was because I'm like, I need to do an activity outside so I'm not just stuck in a house. Like, I don't like the fact that the activity is just playing video games. Like, this could be part of a thing I do, and it could be like a fun little like wind down, but it can't be like a big part. It can only be at most 10%. And damn it, don't get me wrong, I get obsessed with that 10%, but it's like football. I get obsessed with then like, because now I'm playing a free safety. I'm like, okay, well, I should like now brush up on like, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 0, all that stuff. And I should like, figure out, because if you're playing free safety, you're basically the quarterback of the defense, to the defensive side of the football. So like a lot of your job is you're reading the tight ends, you're reading the running backs, and then you read the guards for. That's how like, so I guess third you'd read the running backs. So you want to watch the tight ends. That's for passing, because if they're blocking, it's gonna be a run. Also, if you see the tight ends go, it tends to be it's gonna be a passing play. But another big thing is for running, the guards, because if the guards pull, then that's how you know, and that's how you follow them. So like if a guard pulls, you just fall right into that hole, and you're going to get the tackle. That in retrospect, that's how you fill the hole. That's what they mean when like they say like, they fill the hole. The pursuit was good because you read the play. You were able, oh God. You read it, and then it was then that's how it works. But and then God, I'm always like thinking like, what else do I need to get done? Because I'm like, I get this done. I'm like, oh, I can like chill. I can maybe like play Madden a little bit. Then I'm like, no, because I need to write. I still need to like now get another story. Because I've written a solid 12 new stories, and now I just need to sit down and like fully just edit them because they're all like 60% done. So now it's just like getting the rest of it. Like now it's like running it through like a program to make sure like the grammar's correct, clean up all that stuff, and then like okay, I know I have my first, second, and third act. When I say first, second, and third act set, and so now I can just like kind of fill in. Or what I do is I'll watch a bunch of movies like kind of in the genre of it, and I kind of like get like an idea. I'm like, okay, this is what they use to kind of fill in the dot, like fill in the little spaces here and there, and I just kind of get that, and it's just, But what's fun is like now I'm able to get it done a lot quicker. It used to take me like 6 months to do a story because it would be such a slow process because you have to find your fucking process of doing it. But now I've been doing it long enough where now I can boom, 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 boom. And I watched what is it called? Fucking A, what is it called? Reptile. I watched Reptile last night. Not that bad. Benicio del Toro. He's like the main guy, and he co-wrote it. So it's it was actually not that bad. Justin Timberlake's in it. Simple little thriller. Nothing too crazy. Metaphor. The reptile is a metaphor for the main character as well as like him trying to find the antagonist of the whole thing, the mystery of it, or the murder. Any way you look at it, it's like a murder plus, because like there's technically two stories: the A story and the B story. So the A story is him trying to figure out who killed this girl. I'm not giving anything away. And the B story is trying to figure out what is going on when it comes to like level of corruptness within a certain in the cop. It's literally the storyline is nothing crazy. It's nothing you've never seen before. It's nothing like, it's just man versus man story. So it'd be kind of like I don't even, it's not even a good, just like Pulp Fiction meets it's kind of like a Pulp Fiction meets, this is an awful description. God, what would I say? It'd be like Pulp Fiction. I just had it too. Pulp Fiction just meets like, it's just a standard like a cop story. It's just like a cop. There's a cop that works in the force. He gets assigned to a murder. He's doing that. Then that's nice. You just witnessed the that was that national test that they were doing. It's so funny because they know how to do that. They can do that national test to make sure that like if there's like a natural disaster or anything that happens, they can like send a mass text. They can do that, but they can't do something like that for like voting. Because wouldn't you think that'd make more sense? And like you're the one that sent me the text. Anyway, I know there's something a lot harder, a lot more advanced that I'm missing, and that's the reason why they can't do it. But hey, you just sent this text out. Why can't you send out the other one? So anyway, what do I have? I don't know. How much more time? Oh, well. And then you hear that? That's the timer for the end of the show. So I've reached the end of my show. Thank you for watching. I'm kind of like, yeah, done. Another thing done for the day. I can just move on to the next task. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next episode. Be safe. Wash your hands so you don't get sick like I did. If you do get sick, take Metamucil. That shit will get knocked out in 2 days. 2 to 3 days. Promise you. Drink a lot of water. Drink energy drinks. Smoke a little pot if you want. Be safe. Bye. Adios. Ta-ta.